Thank you for tuning in to the Wendy Inspire channel and for joining our Happy BME Village where everyone belongs. So no matter who you are, how you are, or what you are safe here with us here in our Happy BME Village. So today we're going to do something a little bit different than our normal Special Thursday. But you do know what we do on Special Thursday. We celebrate our friends, we celebrate our family, we celebrate our accomplishments, we celebrate our viewers and our Happy BME Villagers. So today on Special Thursday we are going to have an Ask Wendy segment. And I have a few villagers who have some questions. So I'm going to take one of our villagers today. And if you have some questions that you would like to ask me, please feel free to leave it below. So let me grab the question. All right, let's see.
Hi, Wendy. My name is Alicia Fagg, and I have a question for the Ask Wendy segment. My question is, how did you overcome bullying within the workplace?
Okay, so that question was from Alicia Fagg, and her question was how to overcome bullying in the workplace. And Miss Alicia Fagg, thank you for your question. That's a great question because bullying in the workplace is not something most people talk about. When you think about a bully, you think about the kids in school who stole your lunch money, or little Bobby who pushed someone down. When most people think of bullying, they think of someone in school, they think of a child. Something that we don't speak enough about is the fact that there are a lot of bullying situations that take place in a workplace. A bully situation can be from your boss, it can be from your peer, it can be from your employee or someone who reports to you. But what I would say regarding overcoming bullying in the workplace and overcoming bullying anywhere would be to address it head on. I'm a firm believer in going straight to the source before you do anything else. So if in fact you or anyone else is experiencing bullying in the workplace, at school, at home, at church, at the grocery store, wherever you go, if you are in fact experiencing bullying, the first thing that I would advise you to do would address it head on. And what I mean by that is have a conversation with that person before you do anything else. Many times that person doesn't even realize how their words or their actions fall on you. And if we don't ever communicate that, is it fair to hold that against them? So the first thing would be, if someone is in fact bullying you, to make a conscious effort to have that conversation with them. Explain exactly what they did, how they did it, and how it made you feel. So a perfect example could be, well, when you said this to me, the tone of voice that you used and the words that you used made me feel this way. That would be the first thing that I would advise you or anyone else to do, is to address it head on and make that person aware. Now, if you attempt to make somebody aware and they are not taking your feelings in consideration, or they're not making immediate change, then I would definitely say, if it's something in the workplace, I would say if you have a human resource department, if you have a higher level of management, I would definitely go there. Or even if you have someone that maybe you can confide in and kind of bounce some ideas off. But the first thing before you do anything would be to have a conversation with someone else, that person who is offending you. Give them an opportunity to change. Give them an opportunity to express their side, because many times when someone does something to us or says something to us, it is not intended the way we're receiving it. The way we receive other people's words are based on our own personal experience and our own personal views. So someone might be able to say one thing to me, and I may not be offended and say the same thing to someone else and they may be offended, or vice versa. So again, the first thing would be to have a conversation with that person and provide detailed examples. I would also recommend that you do it immediately. A lot of times when we don't address our concerns immediately, we're not able to provide details, and 9 out of 10 times that person forgot. So let's give people the benefit of the doubt and assume that perhaps it was a misunderstanding. Now, if it is not a misunderstanding and their intention is to demean you, degrade you, make you feel less than, I would definitely have a conversation with their manager or see if there's a human resource department available. One thing I would definitely say is professionals act as they must, not as they feel. So if there's someone in the workplace that is experiencing bullying, I would definitely encourage you to do every single thing that you possibly can to maintain your composure and to remain professional at all times. By you doing that, it gives you a stronger leg to stand on. So, perfect example, if someone is in the workplace and someone is bullying you, and they are intentionally bullying you, they are trying to demean you, they are trying to hurt you, and you respond to them the same exact way they're responding to you, you have less leverage when you go to either their manager or human resources or another line of support. But if you're able to maintain your integrity, maintain your composure, remain calm in spite of, if you're able to remember that professionals act as they must, not as they feel, when you go to the next level, you will have a stronger case, because that person who is bullying you is basically confirming everything that you said by their behavior, and the fact that you're able to remain calm will also strengthen your case. So that's exactly what I would recommend you do. If you are in this situation, please feel free to leave a comment below. If you want to talk a little bit more about it, please leave a comment below. But at the end of the day, I would definitely say, if you have an issue with someone, the very first thing that you should do is have a conversation with them before anyone else. And if that does not work, if you're in a professional environment, I would definitely recommend you go to a higher leader, a manager, their manager, human resources, and attempt to work it out that way. I believe there was another question.
Hi, Wendy. This is Alicia again. I have an additional question. What are some of the ways we can combat bullying altogether?
Okay, so we have a part 2 from Miss Alicia Fagg. Her question was, what are some of the ways that we can combat bullying together? I would definitely say the biggest thing, in my opinion, would be to talk about it, to raise awareness, to let people know that it does in fact exist. And again, I thank you for your question, because it does exist in the workplace, it does exist at home, it does exist at church, it exists everywhere. And again, when most people think about bullying, they think about school, they think about children, but there's a lot of adults that are being bullied. So one of the ways that we can combat bullying altogether is to raise awareness, to raise our hand, to not be ashamed to say, you know what, this is my situation, I feel that I'm being bullied, and make sure that we come together as a team. Let's sit down collectively and see what we can do as a community. I would definitely say a lot of times when children or adults are victims of bullying, it may be because there may be something deep down inside that they're not confident about. In many cases, a bully will see someone that may be timid or insecure and see them as a target. No, it does not make it right. With that said, as we continue to build ourselves up, as we continue to build our children up, we and our children are less likely to be bullied, because a lot of times when it comes to school age children, the bully says something mean to you and you believe it, and now you're having a bad day and you feel bad. When you have a high self-worth or a strong perception of self, when that bully says something to you, you're like, that's not true, well, whatever, and you don't pay it as much mind, or it doesn't have as much power. So I would definitely say a few ways to combat bullying altogether would be to not be ashamed to say I was a victim of bullying and this is what I did, to make sure that we are aware, so we're mindful of, if we see someone being picked on, if we see someone that may feel alone, if we see those signs, let's get involved. Let's be a part of it. If you see that happening at your workplace, at school, at church, get involved. Be that person's voice, because not everybody has a voice. And let the bully know that, hey, what you're doing is wrong. And then let the person who's being bullied know, let them know that they're not alone and that there are people who care about them. Also, let's keep in mind that, you know, the saying, hurt people hurt people. So many times when there is someone that is bullying you, whether it's at the workplace, school, church, or wherever, there is something in them that may be lacking. So in order for them to feel better about themselves, they have to demean someone else. They have to put someone else down. So a lot of times it's good to get to the root of their issue. What is causing them to pick on someone else? What is it that's going on inside of them that's causing them to feel the need to elevate themselves higher than someone else? So again, just raise awareness, share your story, offer support, and just know that the Happy BME Village is a safe place for everyone. So Miss Alicia Fagg, thank you so much for your question. Thank you for joining our Happy BME Village where everyone belongs. I hope that you were blessed by this segment. If you have a question that you would like to ask me, if you have a comment, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure you share it. And most important, don't forget to subscribe. By subscribing to my Wendy Inspired channel, you are joining the rest of the Happy BME Village, which focus on learning and growing together. We also focus on daring to be different, and it's a safe place for everyone. So there's no judgment. We're just here together. We're learning, we're growing, we're developing, we're sharing ideas, and we're becoming stronger and stronger each and every day. So Miss Alicia Fagg, thank you for your question. Thank you for your support with our Happy BME Village. I hope that answered your question. If you have any additional questions, feel free to leave it below or feel free to call in, and we'll definitely continue the Ask Wendy segment. So if you have a question for the Ask Wendy segment, feel free to leave it below. You can inbox me. You can also contact me on my website, which is www.someonecaresaboutme.com. All right, well, I'm going to close out this special Thursday video. I look forward to seeing you guys this weekend, because you know what we do every single Thursday. We have a special Thursday video. Every single weekend, we have another fun and exciting video. You have some video ideas that you would like to see, make sure you leave that below too. All right, guys, I'll see you this weekend. Let's make it a great day. Bye.
Being me, yes, I'm happy being me. I said I'm happy being me, yes, I'm happy being me. No matter what I look like, I'm happy being me. Yeah. I am smart and I am kind, I can do anything. That's right. I use my mind for positive, I do the right